It's really our pleasure, man. It's nice to talk with you because we've been talking a lot about you during the course of this tournament and talking to a bunch of people in Parkersburg as well. Not too bad of a last month for you, huh?
Not too bad at all. It was pretty fun being in the NCAA tournament and making the run we did and getting the notability that we did throughout the entire process.
You know, I don't know what the number would have said before the NCAA tournament began, but you do, I don't know if you know this or not, but if you Google your name, just put your name in, about 180,000 results are generated in 0.26 seconds. It doesn't take long to become a rock star, huh?
Well, no, I knew nothing about that. That's pretty amazing.
Hey man, give us the lowdown because I think your story is one of the truly great stories that we have not only in this tournament but just the whole deal. Because as you well know, we spend as a group of people on talk shows and things like that talking about recruiting, talking about the process. This kid's a 3-star, this kid's 4, this kid's a 5-star blue chip, can't miss, but sometimes they do. And if you would kind of give us the whole feel as to your development at Parkersburg South, how it all came about. I know that Eastern Kentucky had been talking to you. Florida Gulf Coast had got in there because of the relationship that had pre-existed with a couple of guys that had gone down there. What was it like junior year and into your senior year as far as your desire to play Division I basketball and your mindset? What were you thinking and what were you hoping to accomplish?
Well, going into it, that's all I ever thought about. That's what I wanted to play was Division I. As a junior, we had a great team, had great seniors. I think we graduated 7 seniors that year. We made it to the state tournament, lost in the first round, but didn't have the numbers. Had just come off a 5-inch growth spurt, so it wasn't real. My name wasn't out there. A lot of people didn't know who I was, and then I wasn't really providing too much on the floor to give them an aspect of why I should be playing Division I. And then so I was hoping to get there. Didn't have any Division I looks until really the middle of my senior year. And so coming out of my junior year, did a lot of off-season workouts, trained a lot with Brian Chrislip, worked out with a lot of my teammates like Michael Molinari, who plays football at WVU now, just with the mindset that I had to get better if I wanted to play Division I.
Tell me about the 5-inch growth spurt. When did it happen? Because you were a guard, right?
Yeah, I was a 6-foot guard my sophomore year, playing on JV and then dressing varsity but never playing. And then really towards the end of the season, I grew about 1 inch. In the last month of the season, and 4 inches over the summer, and started playing with the team year-round. Got on a good AAU team in Ohio Basketball Club and kept playing every day, which kind of kept me from going through too awkward of a stage. So it was right after my sophomore year and the summer going into my junior year.
You know, man, it's almost funny when you think about it. You just said, I was a sophomore playing JV. I dressed varsity, but I wouldn't get into the games, okay? And then here you are on the biggest stage, the NCAA tournament, on a Friday night, just going stupid. I mean, here you are against Georgetown, alley-oop, underhand, dunk, just slamming it down there. And if someone were to say, you know, that kid dressed varsity, didn't play as a sophomore in high school, people would say, you got to be kidding me. Doesn't happen that way. That's a great story.
Yeah, it's something, I mean, I've talked a lot about with kids that aren't playing a lot. My little brother's matured late too, didn't grow, and he's a football player. And so I talked to him a lot about how I wasn't getting notoriety and how it happens late. Just keep working. I've talked with a lot of kids that I know from back home that aren't playing as much as they'd hope to, and just trying to tell them that things happen. You got to keep working hard and know that no matter what, as long as you do what you can and work as hard as you can go anywhere.
Chase, that story sounds a lot like probably your whole team, and even this season. I mean, you had a good regular season, but it didn't sound like it was incredible from afar, but just this hot spurt. Did you ever envision, mid-season, you had a couple losses to some teams in your conference that all of a sudden you were capable of this run?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it really came to me when we played in the Bahamas and we're playing these pro teams, and we won almost every game by at least 30 points. So I saw then the capability we had. But yeah, my story is the same with a lot of players. I mean, Sherwood Brown was a walk-on his freshman year here, ended up being the player of the year in our conference. So we definitely have a lot of players that may not have got the notoriety in high school or got recruited to the high levels that came here and just really developed and got a lot better. But yeah, during the season we lost to a couple teams we know we shouldn't have, but we tried to look at the positives. We'd already played and beat Miami, who was ranked in the top 10 at that point. We played a very tough out-of-conference schedule in Duke, VCU, St. John's, and Iowa State. So we knew we had the experience going into it, but I don't know if anyone was thinking about the Sweet 16. We were just trying to think about the first game of the tournament to win that one.
We're talking with Chase Fieler from Florida Gulf Coast University. All right, Chase, give us a sense as you're heading into the Georgetown game. I mean, as competitors, I'm guessing you're not afraid of anybody necessarily, but what are you guys thinking when you take the floor? I mean, I know it's cliche, but did you feel like you were going to win that game right from moment one?
Well, a lot of the time during the film, our coach did a great job of getting us prepared and letting us know that we were as good as anybody. And comparing the schedule we had of beating a Miami team who was really good and a 2-seed as well, playing against Duke and outscoring them for 34 minutes, and then just showing on film the things that we could do and take advantage of their weaknesses, which is very few, being they're a great Georgetown defense. But just going through that, and then when we walked on the floor expecting them to be much bigger than us, much stronger than us, and we went out there for warm-ups for the first time, and we're the same size as them. Whereas when we played Duke, they are bigger than us. They looked a lot stronger than us, and so when we got out there, I think we got a lot more comfortable realizing that they weren't as big as we expected them to be, and that gave us a lot of confidence.
Chase Fieler's joining us, and so the game starts, and here it is, the NCAA tournament. You guys are on the floor now. Some teams just happy to be there at this point. That's the Georgetown Hoyas, man. I mean, there's that gray that only they can wear, and John Thompson III is standing over on that sideline. So you start balling with these guys. And then you go to a point from playing against them to just absolutely kicking them. And tell me about that point, that moment where it wasn't even, hey, can we win this game? It's like we're crushing them. You had to be thinking inside yourself, I can't believe this is happening at this point. Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely surreal. We expected it to be a tough game all the way down, maybe win in the closing seconds, and we got that 10-point lead, and we were building on that. We were getting fast break. We got dunk after dunk, and the crowd was turning. They were cheering, so it was very surreal. We didn't expect that. We expected to win, but in a much closer game, in a much different fashion, being the team that they were. So when we started going up and making the run that we did, it was something that we didn't expect, and it was really just, I don't even know how to explain it.
And then at the end of the game, that Brett Comer flips you the underhanded alley-oop that everyone has seen now. You guys really, I mean, you expected that? It wasn't just a shock that it was coming?
No, I mean, we had a lot of oops all year. I think our team had 160-some dunks on the season. I had 60 alone. So when he's in the open floor with his passing ability and the athletes we have, there's a great chance that he's going to toss it up and someone's going to dunk it.
All right, tell us this. Have you watched One Shining Moment yet?
Yeah, I watched the entire championship game and then stayed up to watch that.
That was my follow-up question. So you stayed up and made sure you saw. Did you know you would be on? Did you have a feeling you would be on? What was your feelings when you saw yourself on One Shining Moment?
I assumed that someone on our team, especially making the Sweet 16 run, the love that we got from the entire nation, that we'd make it on somewhere. So I was expecting to definitely see Sherwood blowing kisses, which I did, but then to see myself, something I've watched every year after watching the national championship, and something that our coaches showed us before we played in the conference tournament last year, when we lost, to just give us inspiration, something that we saw, and now to be a part of that and beyond that, that's what other teams may use as inspiration. It's unbelievable feeling. I got chills watching it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
And you know what? People in West Virginia, I bet you, got chills as they watched it. A lot has happened, though. Unfortunately, your coach leaves. You've got a season left. How's that transition going?
It's going good. We had the entire week off last week. I started lifting with a couple of my roommates just to stay in a decent shape, and then we got back to workouts this week. But last week was difficult to handle. A lot of people talking about it, everyone asking about it, and just being that quick shock where I didn't expect it at all, and for it to happen like that, it was something I was trying to handle. But just having more time and then getting back into workouts this week has helped me kind of focus on something else other than the negatives, and just kind of feeds me into workouts, knowing that I don't know what's going to happen, that I have to keep working just to get ready for next season.
And a last question for you. Man, on the website, your college looks a really nice place to be. I mean, how sweet is it to go to school there?
No, I mean, it's really nice. Every one of my friends have come visit. They wish they were here. I put a couple pictures up every now and then just so people can see where I'm at and realize the hardships I'm dealing with being out on the beach during the summer.
What's the summer going to be like for you, Chase? What's your plan? You coming back home? I know you work at the facility that the Chryslips have. What's your plan this summer?
Oh, I'm coming home for the first semester of school. I'm going to take an online class, but I'm going to work at the Elite Sports Center, work the camps there, and then work out with Brian Chryslip, Terry Chryslip, and all them that I did in high school. And then meet up with a couple of guys I know play in college. Chase Fisher, I've been talking to him a lot. He's going to be in some. I'm going to work out with him. Other people, one of my friends from Ohio goes to Chaminade in Hawaii. He's going to be around, so I'm going to play basketball with them and just try to get good workouts going. I mean, a lot of even kids another year younger than me, like Zach Grossenbacher. I worked out with him over Christmas break when we came in, and Andy Dahlman. So there's a lot of talent in Parkersburg that will be home this summer. So we'll get some good pickup games going and that. But just try to work out, and then I'll be back at school for the second semester and to get back with the team and start doing that stuff.
Great stuff. Well, we've really looked forward to having you on the program, and it was as collectively everyone here just so thrilled with the run that you guys had, and specifically thrilled for you. As you probably well know, Twitter was blowing up when you guys played your 2 games, and it's outstanding stuff. So thanks so much for your time, and stay away from the sunburns down there, and hopefully one of these days we'll meet face to face.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. You take care.